Hi there. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jamie Wake and I'm a founder and CEO of Club F.O.D here in Reading. Club F.O.D was initially formed to provide a regular and accessible dedicated safe space for the LGBT plus community here in Reading. Many towns and cities do not have a dedicated bar or club for us to meet and socialise, and unlike geographical isolation, social isolation experienced by LGBT plus members of our society is less obvious and more difficult to escape. Sometimes isolation and the loneliness that it can lead to is a result of feelings of being separate due to society telling LGBT plus people that we are different. As we slowly eased ourselves out of lockdown, Club F.O.D also eased itself into a new structure to ensure that it was truly by and for the local LGBT plus community. This included registering with the Charities Commission and adopting a set of charitable objects that describe and identify how we aim to make a difference here in Reading and beyond. Club F.O.D has developed 4 distinct areas that further our charitable purpose. Number 1, Club F.O.D at the Blagrave. The second one was Club F.O.D at home, the third being Club F.O.D in the community, and the fourth was Club F.O.D's Fund of Diversity. So let me hand over to a couple of the trustees from Club F.O.D who can explain to you exactly what we do.
Hi there, I'm Brendan and I'm one of the trustees of Club F.O.D and I'm responsible for club nights such as Club F.O.D at the Blagrave. Club F.O.D launched at the Blagrave in May 2019, where we had a popular monthly event on the last Saturday of the month to provide a dedicated safe space for the LGBT plus community. Often with a theme, games and drag queens on the door, our events quickly became one of the busiest nights in the town. We've obviously scaled back post-lockdown to make sure that our safe space really is a safe space. At our nights, we ensure that everyone that comes to our nights are welcomed and spoken to. Our door hosts and floor hosts actively engage with people attending and, where possible, introduce new people to others who are attending. After all, social isolation can also be encountered even if someone goes to a dedicated LGBT plus night. It's been a pleasure to watch our nights grow and to hear the real difference that it seems to make to people in bringing the community together. The events at the Blagrave will form a blueprint that will be rolled out elsewhere, so watch this space for exciting announcements soon.
Hi, I'm Martin from Club F.O.D. I'm a trustee and I'm also responsible for all of our fundraising activity, as well as overseeing our Fund of Diversity. In 2019, our first year, we raised over £1,200 for local LGBT plus charities and projects. So far in 2020, we have raised the same amount during lockdown, which was donated to the memorial established for James, Joe and David. The Fund of Diversity was established so that we can help out as many local LGBT plus charities, projects and causes as we can. And members of the public help us identify worthy recipients that reflect our charitable aims.
Alongside our physical events, Club F.O.D in the community organises events and activities away from the pub scene. So far, this has included an annual pink picnic and a number of camping trips around the south. We're also working on a youth club as well as activities and events for the older members of our community. When lockdown was entered, we didn't want a lockdown to leave people literally locked out. So we looked for alternative ways to ensure that Club F.O.D could continue with what we set out to achieve. We started producing live streams from our Facebook page and other social media to ensure that when, even at home, you're never alone. As lockdown started to ease, our intention was to discontinue with virtual events, but following feedback and messages received from our last virtual show, we realised that online events and broadcasts can literally be a lifeline to some members of our community. And we wanted to ensure that our community reach goes beyond that of a physical venue and make sure that not one person is overlooked. We officially established Club F.O.D at home with a dedicated team, and our planned activities include a dedicated channel for all members of the LGBT community that provides live and pre-recorded interactive content, an online radio station dedicated to the LGBT plus community, workshops and activities that support members of the LGBT plus community to create content, and partnerships with other LGBT plus content providers and organisations in the area. Whether the LGBT plus community is able to meet physically at a dedicated event or activity, or virtually using the internet, what matters to an individual remains fundamentally the same for most of us. Meaningful connection, accessibility of support, being part of a community, opportunities for social interaction, and having our difficulties and disadvantages acknowledged. At Club F.O.D, we're so much more than a weekly LGBT plus night here in Reading. We really believe that there really is no place like home.